Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of The Dan Dawson Show. So, have you ever just had a mood hit you where you saw something, a glimpse of something, and it just strikes you? See, that's where I'm at now. Uh, you remember the story I did on Walter Wallace Jr. and about how it was a justified shooting. And I still believe it was a justified shooting. Here's the deal. The parents have come out and said they don't want those cops charged with murder. That's grace. That's grace. That's grace and that's forgiveness. And I have nothing but applause for those parents. Could you imagine how hard it would be as a parent to see your child killed in front of you, shot in front of you, and then to recognize and realize that your child was in the wrong? And not only that, but come out and to say you don't want those cops charged with murder. That's grace. Look, people, I worked in the mental health field for 2 decades, 20 years. And here's what I know about mental health, about mental health issues. You see, it doesn't just affect the person who has the diagnosis. It affects the family. It affects the mental health workers they come in contact with. It affects everyone. So for me, for those parents to come out and say that, they've even gone on the record to say you won't catch any member of our family participating in these riots and protests in Philadelphia right now. I don't know that, you know, those parents did something that I don't know many of us could do. Because they've been affected by this their whole life. They've had to deal with it. And every parent wants the best for their kid. That's just truth. It's honest and it's factual. And it's really touching to me that they would come out in support of the police. In so, shorter time. Because think about it, their son hasn't even been put to rest yet. And they're thinking with a clear head. And they're saying those cops weren't wrong. They did what they have to do. Man, if that doesn't grab you, if that doesn't make you take a step back. But I'll tell you one thing. Let me go back. That for my own troubles and dealing with the mental health field and suffering tons of injuries that actually their statement. I don't know if you can hear this, Wallace family. I don't know if it'll ever reach you. But your statement actually did a lot for me. Does a lot for me. And speaks volumes to me. Personally. It's hard. Let me see where I'm going with this. Because, I'm working through my own issues with this mental health stuff. But that statement and the fact that they're so coherent over it speaks volumes. It speaks volumes about the character of this family. Because keep in mind, they have to put their son in the ground here soon. So for them, I will just say, I'm going to say the Lord's Prayer for you. I'm going to pray for you. The Wallace family. I'm going to pray for you. That was just really deep and touching. The You don't often get this from me. I'm not a very feelings person, especially when it comes to mental health issues. But I've been doing some work with some good people. Hey. Shouts out to my boy James. Shouts out to my boy Kelly. They helped me with my own PTSD stuff. Without them, I don't know how far I would make it. So, hey, that's my team though. Kelly, James, Justin, Dr. Dan. Appreciate you guys. You're there for me. I appreciate you. But what this family did without any of those contacts was amazing. That's all I can say. It's just what they're doing is amazing. It's amazing. So much love to the family. But often when we talk about mental health, we forget that it's not just one thing. It's not just one incident. It's a string of incidents. And so when you're talking about running big business out of town, you destroy the social safety net, because the social safety net depends on those taxes. You have to pay for that. And here's something that really got me about this, and I've been thinking about it since I posted that video, the Walter Wallace video, since I posted it. Like, if you're running big business out of town, who's going to pay for your social safety net? And when I was in the union many years ago, and as I look to the left and I read my AFSCME Secretary Award presented to Daniel Dawson in recognition of your exemplary leadership, commitment of excellence, and dedicated service to the membership of AFSCME Wolfsey Local 793. Dated January 10th to January 2014. Thank you, Local 793 members. That's what the plaque reads. And it reminds me that we used to have these union shirts called We Are the Safety Net. It said We Are the Safety Net on back. And it just wasn't the safety net to stop crime in the streets. You have to stop crime in the streets. It's the safety net to make sure people like Walter Wallace Jr. got the help he needed. So I'll agree with the attorney on this. The city failed him because he didn't get the help he needed. And it's failing a lot of people because they're not getting the help they need. Now, was he a violent criminal? I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, he had charges. I try not to judge. He never attacked me personally, so hey, I never met the guy. But it really makes me kind of wonder where we're at as a society. But this family kind of really did a lot for me. I do my own post-traumatic stress disorder stuff. But this family coming out at this point and saying what they said did a lot for me. And I hope it does a lot for you. I really do. Because, see, the families of these people have to deal with them every day in, day out basis. And if the resources aren't there to take the pressure off the families, then stuff like this happens. I don't know. It's just kind of really sad. It's really sad. And I have the ability to turn things on and off. Okay. It just is what it is. It comes with part of PTSD. You turn a part of yourself off. But for this family to come out and say this, that those officers should not be charged with murder, shows they're thinking about more than themselves. And how many of us can say that? You got people out there right now. They're breaking into stores. They're robbing ATMs. They're burning down the city. And they never even knew the man. I don't know. I'm just kind of really proud of that family. Really proud of that family. Because a lot of parents never realize that. They would never say that. I don't know. It's just really a big thing to me. I hope it's a big thing to you. But like I said, I don't know if the family of Walter Wallace Jr. will ever hear this. But for my own PTSD from dealing with the mentally ill community for 20 years, what they said actually meant a lot to me. It meant a lot. It may not seem like it means a lot to a lot of people, but I know from my own personal position, hopefully to other people working that are still working in the mental health field, it means a lot to them. I mean, and that is probably deeper than any psychologist, psychiatrist, counselor could ever tell somebody that works in the mental health field. Also, on a side note, if you do work in the mental health field, make sure you're taking care of your own mental health. Don't be the mechanic that doesn't change his oil. That's all I'm going to say. But I don't even know where I was going with this. It was something I ran across, and I just had to put that message out there. So to the family of Walter Wallace Jr., you have my prayers. I'm sorry you lost a loved one, but I'm really, really proud of your strength. You know, I don't even know where to go. It's just really heartbreaking. It's really hard for me because like I said, I'm dealing with my own stuff. But that's really what you said was very special. So to the family of Walter Wallace Jr., thank you. Prayers. I hope you guys find peace. So, thank you. Thank you for, watching this episode of the Dan Dawson Show. Like, subscribe, share. Do what you got to do.